Hi everyone, it's Tara here with Great Life Paper Words, and I wanted to share with you a look through of my Disney album. So I found this 6x8 cloth album in Hawaii when I was there. I believe it is a Studio Calico one. And I love that it's got this little hook right here to keep everything in place. And it just says sparks and fires, moments, and I just thought it would be really great for our Disney trip. It is a 2-inch one, and so I definitely needed it for this. And I decorated it with some of those sticker things that I found. So it just says Disney, and then it has some Mickey hats on it, and I did Disneyland 2015. So that is the start of it. As I started, I wanted something sort of as an intro, something eye-catching. So I did a grid, so it's 3x4 of 2x2 size squares. I used the Snap Simple Stories, I believe, Disney collection for most of the journal cards. Some of the journal cards are from Studio Calico as well. But like I said, most are from the Simple Stories one. And I like the look of having a lot of blank space in them. So the first one is we took a picture right as we were driving. We drove down to Great Falls and flew out from there. I did a little bit of journaling. My goal for this was to journal as much as I could so that when our kids were older, because they were 6 and 4 at this time, and then our little one was 8 months, the goal was that they could read this and they could remember. Maybe not Emmy, but the other two. As we were walking to the airport and then in the airport, and I really love this picture. I thought it was very fitting of the 4 of them and, you know, our wait time. So I took a copy of one of our plane tickets and Rhett and his first time on an airplane. And then this is the next day, the 16th of November, as we are driving from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. It was completely different than I thought it was going to be. I didn't realize it was going to be actually as hilly and mountainousy as it was. So that was a really interesting surprise for me. And again, more journaling. We got to Anaheim and it was just such a gorgeous drive and view, and I have to say, for anyone who drives in that normally, it was crazy for someone who lives in a town of like 2,000 people. It was absolutely different than my husband and I have ever driven in before. I have been to Los Angeles before, but I was a lot younger and I was not driving. Yeah, I thought it was crazy. Anyways, I digress. This picture is just taken as the sun was setting from the balcony of the hotel we were at. And then I wanted to include the guide map as well, so I used my fuse for this one and then just stuck it in. The day we went to Disneyland was Tuesday that we went. We bought a 3-day park pass, and then I kept their passes and I put them in there because I thought that would be fun to look back on. And then I also took a copy of our receipt as well, because I always think it's fun to look back and see how much things cost as you know, as time goes on and you get older. So I documented the second ride that we did. The first ride was the Pirates of the Caribbean, which was actually the very first ride that I ever took when I went to Disneyland. So I thought that was really neat that my experience was the same as my children's experience. But their second ride was Splash Mountain, and so I have a picture of them and my husband. And then just a fun shaker pocket here, and I did some journaling. It just says a little bit about after Splash Mountain, which we did twice, it was starting to get busy, so we decided to take the river raft to Sawyer Island as the kids needed to run around. So I've got a lot more little tiny pull out cards in this album than I generally have done in the past, and I really like them, so it is something that I have continued. And yeah, so my little shaker pocket, I picked up some buttons and a few little things that I knew I could use as embellishments while we were there. And then I also needed, when I needed to add extra photos, I would use my fuse and fuse them in. I have one here as well. And then I talk about lunch and seeing Goofy, who we saw a lot. And I have to say I'm not happy with these page protectors. These are the ones that came with the binder. But I don't know if you can see, my pictures stick out, and my pictures are a true 4x6. And they're really, really flimsy, so I will not be buying the Studio Calico brand ones. I definitely like something that's a little firmer and not, like I said, not as flexible, I guess. And we had so much cotton candy that whole time. In fact, that even says like cotton candy's on there twice because the kids ate so much of it. Which, you know, it's fun. It's Disneyland. Some more journaling. This is still the first day. And I really wanted to record how exciting it was, not just for our kids, but also for my husband and I. We both went when we were 15. We didn't go at the same time. We didn't know each other then. It just so happened that we were both 15 when we went. And it was completely different because we were a bit older and we were with our parents, and I just felt like when I was at Disneyland, it wasn't nearly as magical as it could have been, but I definitely got that this time with my kids. So I'm really excited that I was able to take them. This is day 2 at Disneyland, or sorry, California Adventures, where we went. And we actually had, this is really funny, we took a picture of the parking lot we were in, and we also took a picture of the license plate because we had rented a car. So we wanted to not forget where we were. But anyway, so going back to what I was saying, I really hope that I was able to convey how excited everyone in the family was. I did another map of California Adventure. We spent so much time at Paradise Pier. That's where we did a lot of the rides when we were at California Adventure. And of course we saw Cars, who Lightning was my son's absolute most favorite. He was so excited. And then we saw Anna and Elsa, and I think even my husband loved it because he definitely made sure he was in the picture too. And the princesses were just so sweet. So the first day we were at California Adventure, we saw just Anna. And then the second day we were there, Elsa was there, and so we wanted to go to that too. We did the Frozen sing-along. We met Olaf, and he was so cute. He loved my son's light-up shoes, so that's what the picture is of. And I, of course, had to include it. And I loved the one of our family in there too. Did another shaker card. I wanted to do it in those purple tones, and it says Olaf. And then I've got seeing Goofy again and being down Buena Vista, something like that. They don't call it Main Street, I don't think. Had a little bit about what we ate and about that evening. The second evening we weren't nearly as tired as we were the first evening, so we stayed a bit later. And again, I like to include receipts of what we purchased. So day 5 or day 3 of our Disney trip, we decided to let the kids decide, and they wanted to go back to California Adventureland. So I made sure to take lots of pictures. Each got to choose a souvenir that day as well. So my daughter picked her Elsa ears. Yeah, see there we met Elsa, and they were talking to them about skating, which was so cute. And then my husband did California Screamin', which he loved. He did that twice. I'm not really a roller coaster type person, so I didn't do it. And of course, someone had to watch the kids, right? Grizzly Peak. Again, lots of fused pockets. And then we watched the parade. We watched it twice, and the kids absolutely loved it. So I took pictures of all the guys that we saw because it was really neat watching them see all the characters that they knew from all the movies that they loved. So got my Starbucks, and I was so sad I didn't get one in the grounds because they had special Disney cups, and knowing me, I probably would have taken it back, but that's okay. And then my son had got this little bubble gun or whatever it is, and so they had fun at the hotel just playing outside with it. And then again, I wanted to record like how much we spent on our hotel and what we bought. And we did see the fireworks last night. We weren't too tired. And I do have to put one picture there. That's the last thing I need to do. I just have not had a chance. I keep forgetting to print one off. So the next day, we decided to go to Huntington Beach before we left. Because we wanted to take the kids to the ocean and for them to actually dip their feet in the water. So I've got some pictures of that. And then we wanted to drive back. It was a pretty decent drive. It was longer than we thought it was going to be. Of course, we had to make a couple stops. But it was really busy. I was surprised how much traffic there was. And then we got back and we had some pizza at our hotel room. And then the next day we went and just sort of toured around Vegas. My husband and I had been about 5 years ago, so we had already done the Strip, but the kids hadn't. So we really wanted to show them the Strip and all the lights and the Bellagio fountains. So we definitely did that. And then of course I had to go find a Hobby Lobby because I've heard so much about it. So we did find a Hobby Lobby and a Joann's, and I bought a couple things, but I have to say I was a little disappointed. Coming from Michael's, I was really excited to go, and I guess I expected more than what was there. And then we had gone to a movie, and we went to Whole Foods that night for supper, so I kept the bag, and I cut it out, because I like fun, like different things like that. And then my daughter lost a tooth that night. And then this is our very last day. It was a Sunday. I didn't take many pictures of during the day. It was mostly traveling, but we flew from Vegas back to Great Falls. So we got to go on the airplane again, and then when we finally got back to Canada, it was definitely later. I mean, it was 6, but I think by the time we got home it was 9 or so, and I'm just seeing that I need to fix this. I printed my pictures at Walmart, and they don't do well for stamping on them, so I'm going to have to figure something else out. But it says there's no place like home, and this is just as we're coming up to the Canadian border. And then the very last one is just a filler card, and then I did a little bit about how it was a dream come true to take our kids on this. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the walkthrough of my Disney album. I'd love to hear any comments or questions that you have. Feel free to put them in the bottom. And of course, you can always subscribe and see any new videos I do, and always go back and watch my process videos, I guess. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.